I've loved this job. This has been one of the best matches in my whole career, was the 31. That's why I'm here still after 31 years. When I had only been doing it about 3-4 years, I had a student with albinism, and he was about 11, 12, and he had his struggles. I mean, he was a good student and he tried hard and he did pretty good in school, but he struggled with his eye condition. And one weekend I was taking my kids fishing, and I just felt like I should call him on the phone. So I called him on the phone because I had kids about his age. And I took the crew up and we went fishing, and he caught a fish with albinism. And it was an eye-opener to him that he was not the only being in the world with albinism. And that was an eye-opener to me about how isolated some of our kids can be if they don't have that knowledge that there's others similar to them. So that was one of my defining moments, I think. That made a huge difference in how I taught and what I did. I had another student, totally blind. And he was in Scouts, and we went out one day and set up an archery set the beeper by it, and he got his archery badge. He actually made it in the circle, many tries, but he made it. And that was really exciting for me and him. That was a big party day. I think another thing that I look at is following the kids. Where we're rural, we follow these kids so often, from the day they come into the school until they go out. And so many of the more severe kids, the way they go out isn't through the school system and isn't aging out, it's their body gives out. And it's a journey to make with those students, and to see the special spirituality of them and the strength. Such strength, and they stay happy. Always kept my feet grounded when I thought I had a few woes in my life. So I'd say those are probably a few of the things that really impacted me over the years. Our students don't always come healthy. In fact, a good part of the time they're not. Vision is not their only disability. Everyone develops their own teaching style, and it's what works for them. And you can always pick up things from watching other teachers. Take the opportunity, go observe, spend time doing that kind of thing. But I think watching really close when you're having progress with students versus when you're not having progress, and trying to pinpoint what you're doing and what you're not doing that needs to be changed. If you're in this career for a long duration, you're going to butt heads at some time with somebody. You're going to butt heads, and especially when you get in, there's going to be a parent or two that you may have trouble with. Always remember that those parents, and it took me a while to get this, didn't go into the field thinking this, they're dealing with a lot of guilt, a lot of sadness. sometimes we forget that these parents are handling a lot of stress. You need to hang on through that. You need to be understanding and hang on through that. For students, listen to your teachers. I know sometimes we're so irritating, but we want the best for you, and you're not always going to do everything we want you to do. But for the most part, they've got to know that their teachers care about them. And that would be the biggest thing for the students. Because every kid's different, and every kid's going to have to face their own problems, and nobody's quite the same. We are all different people. Goes back. But if they can keep a good attitude towards their teacher and be honest with your teacher, tell them when you've got problems. That's the biggest thing, is for a teacher and a student to have rapport where they can feel like they can be honest with each other. There isn't a career out there that is rewarding as this one is. I think this has got to be absolutely the most. I've done a lot, and that's just in the teaching career. I've done other jobs before that. There is nothing as rewarding as this job, as succeeding, having a success story. Watching a kid, whether it's learning to put on a coat, whether it's learning to tell a teacher that he needs to write bigger, or whether it's a kid going to college or doing something big, or catching a fish that's the same thing as he is. There's something always that just makes your day if you look for them. And that's all I'd say is, don't give up on this job in the hard times. There will be hard times, but boy, I'll tell you, there's nothing that has as many rewards over the year.